Okay, let's get started here. Let me put this a little bit closer so we can pick up the audio.
No problem.
Okay, so now, based on your accent, I'm guessing you're from New York.
Yeah, I'm originally from Clarksville, Brooklyn.
Clarksville, Brooklyn. Okay. Now, one
Not
of the
too expensive though.
okay.
Had to move out.
One of the questions I like to ask New Yorkers is, what's the difference between Manhattan and the outer boroughs?
What's the difference between Manhattan and the other boroughs?
Yes. For someone who
What's the
doesn't know.
difference between Brooklyn and Queens
Yes.
and Bronx and
Yes.
Staten Island?
Yes.
Well, I would say the difference between Manhattan and the other boroughs
Yes.
is that Manhattan is it's a little bit less cultural. I do feel like while Manhattan is not dead, it is losing its culture as of right now.
Yeah.
But I do think that we do have a chance to come back
Right.
and make New York again.
Okay.
You know, I do think that in terms of if you're looking for like, I don't know, it's more hipster stuff, go to West Brooklyn.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be more upscale, obviously Upper East Side, Manhattan. Looking for good food, go to Harlem.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of differences. Bronx, best baseball team in the world, baby.
Right,
Come on.
right. What are some of your favorite spots in Harlem? If you
In
don't mind?
Harlem.
Yeah.
I mean, 125th is just like, it's a staple. So I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I
Yeah.
don't go to Harlem that often,
Yeah.
but when I do really like Spanish Harlem.
Right.
I'm half Nicaraguan, so
Yeah.
I love I grew up with like
Yeah.
Latin American food,
Right.
like plátanos, everything. They have such good plátanos in Spanish Harlem.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of Harlem, yeah, I really don't go too often, but I mostly go to get food.
Yeah.
Like as I said.
Right. Okay, so now you're a New Yorker, so you probably noticed that a lot of New Yorkers are leaving.
Yes.
This is one of the states where people are leaving the
Yes.
most. Do you know a lot of people who have left, and where are they going?
A lot of people, you know, live in the tri-state area. At least that I go to school with. I go to school here.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that a lot of kids are leaving, like Pennsylvania. I don't know why people are going back to Florida. People going back to Florida. I don't know. It's Jersey, like pretty much the tri-state area, plus
Yeah.
California and Florida, and then I don't know where else everybody's going.
Okay. So now, what are some places to go in New York when the weather is nice out like this?
When the weather's really nice,
Yes.
well, we're standing in one of the places where it's nice to go when the weather's good out. But I would say I love in Manhattan specifically, or can it be
be
involving
anywhere.
Manhattan? Right.
Yeah.
I love to take the PATH train to Jersey City or Newport. I don't remember. And I love to go right up to the water so you can see the full Manhattan skyline,
Yeah.
especially when the sun's setting right now, or even in the middle of the day. It's beautiful.
I think there's a place in West New York where you could see, like, you know, the whole skyline.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
Yeah.
get some good views out there. Okay, so now, do you make any videos yourself?
no, I don't. I actually have been considering it though.
Okay.
I have been considering it.
What would you film about if you had a site?
Just I think if anything it would be like goofy stuff, zany, like not necessarily like pranks or anything like that, but definitely more of like a podcast sort of thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I would be like a street interviewer such as what you're doing, but I mean it's a cool ass job what you're doing, so I would consider it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be mostly like probably like podcast type of thing, talking about the Yanks.
Right.
I don't know, all sorts of things.
Okay. So now, do you have any special talents?
I can sing Dean Martin.
Do you want to do that for us right here?
Yes, I do.
Okay, please go ahead.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread it. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't that a kick in the head? Not great, but I can do it.
Alright,
Not
fantastic,
great, but I can do it.
Okay, now, so
I practice in the shower.
you're pretty good. So let me ask you something. Did you have people encouraging you when you were growing up to sort of follow your interests, follow your goals, follow your dreams?
Definitely. I do think that I was honestly, the one thing I am a little upset about, at least in terms of like the culture of where I was brought up, is I feel like I was sort of pushed away from maybe careers that like people will like kind of like flock to, say lawyer, doctor, whatever. Like, although I don't want to do those things, I do feel like it was a little weird to be like kind of forced away from those things because, you know, everybody has their own calling, you know what I mean? So I think it shouldn't necessarily be, oh, just do stuff that people don't normally do. I think it should be whatever you want.
So did you say you were a student?
Yes, I'm a student.
What are you studying and what would you like to achieve?
I'm just in a liberal arts school right now, but I want to become an artist manager in the music business because I do like think that the music business is ever changing, especially right now during quarantine. Well, not necessarily quarantine, as you can see, but like during this whole COVID like scare and everything. The music business is changing. I mean, streaming, although it doesn't make as much money for the artists, it is booming a lot more because I mean we can't go to live shows. So I do want to be an artist manager because I do think a lot of, you know, underlooked talent, especially in underprivileged communities, particularly in New York, I kind of want to involve like philanthropy with artist management because I do think that the cultural epicenters of New York need a bigger voice. They don't have enough of a voice right now because nobody gives them that. But if we were to give our communities such as Brownsville, such as Forest Hills, such as all these places a better voice, I think New York would be a lot better place. I think we could all benefit from giving our, you know, underprivileged or whatever you want to call them neighborhoods a better voice and a better stake in our community. I think that's one of the most important things New York has to do if we want to turn around how our city is culturally going.
Yeah, philanthropy is definitely something that is mentioned in a lot of these videos that I've been making. Okay, so now, what do you hope to do once this pandemic ends? Something that you're not able to do now, obviously.
Hang out with as many buddies as I possibly can in one place. Not doing that now.
So, another question I have for you is, what were you doing during the lockdown when everything was shut down?
Listening to music, watching too much TV. I don't know, really kind of being lazy. Put on a couple pounds, you know, the usual.
Now you're trying to lose that by coming out and about.
But it is winter, so.
Well, it's one of the last days that it's going to be nice out. We got a few more days left. So were you curious at all about what other people were doing? Because, you know, when you're in isolation, you're like, where am I? What are other people doing?
I was curious. I did see, you know, people from my high school or people from wherever, like traveling a lot, and like, I was kind of like, you sure you want to be doing that? But I'm not going to tell anybody what they can or can't do. It's their prerogative. Like, you know, it's good to encourage safety, but you can't be like a dick about it, you know what I mean? So
you got to practice like moderation. You can't like go too extreme. Some people, they don't even go.
Because then they're not going to do it. If you really like push way too hard, people are just not going to do it. So as long as we, you know, do this in a smart way, I think everybody can follow along. I don't know for sure.
So I see you're vaping. What's going on with the vaping industry now? Because there's been a lot of changes in this past year with the vaping industry.
I don't really know too much about it. I've just been mad addicted to nicotine since I was like 15. Started with the Juul, but now I have like a refillable John. I mean, I don't really know much about it.
Is it harder to get vape now? Because I heard a lot of places are
harder than when I was 15 for sure. Yeah, harder than I was 15.
So sometimes you got to travel a little bit farther to get your vape. Okay, now let me ask you another question. It's a very general question. Is it better to be single or involved? Because, you know, throughout this whole pandemic, what was happening is there was a lot of domestic violence, right? Spouses were fighting amongst each other. And then, but people, at the same time, people were lonely. You see what I'm saying? Because if you're single and you're in isolation, it's like you feel like, oh my God, you know, I'm all by myself here.
But I do think there is one thing that's a little bit overlooked in terms of that. I mean, we're humans. We're social people. I mean, we're social beings. We're gonna want to find a social interaction any time we can get. I mean, some people are introverts, but I mean, we are social species. I do have to go soon.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right.
But I do think
Yeah.
lockdown should be used for self-improvement
Okay.
and not necessarily doting on somebody else.
All right. Now you said you got to go soon. Any closing statements? You want to give a shout out to anyone? You want to plug any social media that you have? TikTok, Instagram, anything like that?
My Instagram is might be Maze.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, finishing words is, I think New York has a chance to come back, and we got to take that chance.
All right.
Give the impoverished communities of New York a bigger voice.
Okay. Fantastic.
That's what we have to do.
Yeah, we got to definitely reach to the common man.
All right.
All right. Let's talk.